In Creo Parametric 13, there is a new 3D PDF export. In a previous video, I took a look at exporting a part and then some of the different PDFs. In this video, I want to talk about some of the differences with the output for assemblies. And the process in Creo Parametric is the same. Let me remind you of the process. You will go to the File drop-down menu, Save As, Save a Copy, and then in the Save a Copy dialog box, you will change the type list from the default assembly to 3D PDF. It has the little blue triangle indicating that it is new in Creo Parametric 13. And you can change the name if you want. I'll leave the default name. Let me click the OK button. Here in the 3D PDF export settings dialog box, you can change the lighting. And right now it's using Cube. Let's change to CAD optimized. I'm generally pretty happy with that personally. Note that there are some different rendering styles. I've been generating most of these as solid outline. In one of the examples, I'll show you illustration. Here's a little spoiler, not a big fan. But let me change back to solid outline. Here's where you can specify your company's logo to use. This is set up to use the default logo, which I think is the PTC symbol. And I'm not going to check either of the options here. There's the content tab. All of this is the same. I don't have any combined states or annotations in this model, so I can also specify to generate standard views. I'm not even sure if this model has standard views. Security is where you can add a password, and then description. You can add additional information to be filled in for the properties of the PDF file. This is good, so I will click the OK button, and I will let this generate. One other thing to note, for assemblies, I have been getting layer warnings. For example, 7,000 layer items found. This can slow down the export process. I've been choosing ignore for layer status. Let me click the OK button and it will proceed. Okay, the PDF has been generated. Be aware with assemblies, especially ones with lots of components, things that have complex geometry, they can take a while to be generated. Let's jump over to Adobe to take a look at some of the output. Oh yeah, before I do that, I just want to mention, here is another assembly that I generated some of the PDFs for. Doesn't have that many components, but be aware that they are gray in color, so you'll see what I mean when I show the output. Okay, for reference, here is a PDF of a part model that I generated for the previous video, and you can see how it looks in here with the CAD optimized look and the kind of information that you get, the part attribute information, and your carousel and the notes and where you can do your approvals and whatnot. All right, let's jump over to the first assembly that I generated, and this is one that I use the illustrated output, and you can see how it looks. Not a fan, but hey, if you generate one of those, you can always go to solid outline so it looks a little bit better. In terms of the layout, you'll notice that we have a parts list here, and so it's showing us the quantities and then the part names. And let me try clicking on a component. I click on that. Here I get the part attribute information, and it looks like the mass properties were not calculated, and also a lot of the information was not filled out. Later, I had intended to show an example of selecting a component and showing its part attribute information. I neglected to do that. Let me insert that here. I will select a part. And now we can see the information populated. We've got some stuff in here like the PDM release level. We have some material and also the designer and the description. One other thing that I will note about this particular part, if you take a look, it highlights it in the parts list and its name is oil pan underscore PRT. That will happen when you have a part and an assembly with the same name. It will append the underscore PRT to the name to distinguish it from the assembly. Let's jump over to another one. And so this is one that was generated using CAD optimized. And again, the gray is not showing up that well. And so you might want to consider changing some of the colors if you're generating PDF output. Oh yeah, we still have our different combination states located down in the bottom. Let me zoom into this one over here and bring it in. And so, of course, you can switch in between those different ones. Boy, it takes a while getting used to the different ways that you use the mouse between all the different CAD software platforms I use. And now Adobe PDFs. Okay, third one. This one I generated using the blue lighting. And so if you are trying to generate a PDF with a part that has all those gray surfaces, very light colored surfaces, hey, this might be an opportunity where you want to try generating using blue lighting or the red lighting option, or what's the other one? I think the green lighting option. All right, let's take a look at some of the more complicated assemblies that I have. And so here we have the parts list. Oh yeah, one thing I want to note about the parts list is that this really is a parts list. In other words, it does not contain any of the sub-assemblies. It's just going to be a pure listing of all the different components that you have in the model. It's not alphabetical though, it's in the order that it appears in the assembly. Let me try selecting a component, and that one I got was the gondola, and then we can go down here and we have some additional icons for visibility. So for example, I could choose to hide selected so that I could see inside of that one. All right, let me go to another one. This was a really big assembly that I generated. And I want to note that I am trying this out in the first desktop release of Creo Parametric 13.4. This is new functionality, and there are a bunch of things that are listed in the help about what's not supported in the 3D PDF generation. One of the things that they mention is flat to screen annotations. Those aren't supported. Also, I had something in here that was like piping, and the piping is just coming over as a curve. But again, with all functionality like this, there will be enhancements. They might end up being added to a maintenance release, or it might be the next software release, but be aware that more stuff is coming. Anyhow, let's take a look at the PDF that I generated in this video. I'll go to File and then Open, and here is that PDF. Let's click on the Open button. And once again, we have to click to activate, and we get the little warning. So I'll go to Options and say Trust this document always. Then we click again. And here's what you get when you use the standard logo, the one that comes from PTC. But anyhow, again, I can rotate this around and I can zoom in. Oh, am I zooming in? There we go. There is zooming in. I must hit the right mouse button. And again, you can pan on the computer screen. And so keep on hitting the right mouse button. But anyhow, this is really great for sharing your models with other people, especially if they have MBD. I don't have MBD in this model, but it is great for having other people look at what you're generating. And again, they can write notes in here, and then when they try to close the PDF, it'll ask if they want them to save it. And you can have this used for different approval processes with signatures captured as well. And so there you have it. Those are some of the differences when you are generating 3D PDFs of assemblies in Creo Parametric 13.